Nothing in this world is harder than speaking the truth, nothing easier than flattery. I don't know how to be silent when my heart is speaking. Grown-up people do not know that a child can give exceedingly good advice, even in the most difficult case. My God, a moment of bliss. Why, isn't that enough for a whole lifetime? I swear, gentlemen, that to be too conscious is an illness, a real thoroughgoing illness. Destroy my desires, eradicate my ideals, show me something better, and I will follow you. A fool with a heart and no sense is just as unhappy as a fool with sense and no heart. I am a fool with a heart but no brains, and you are a fool with brains but no heart, and we're both unhappy, and we both suffer. The degree of civilization in a society can be judged by entering its prisons. Love in action is a harsh and dreadful thing compared to love in dreams. Man only likes to count his troubles. He doesn't calculate his happiness. But how could you live and have no story to tell? The man who has a conscience suffers whilst acknowledging his sin. That is his punishment. You can be sincere and still be stupid. The beast can never be as cruel as a human being, so artistically, so picturesquely cruel. 100 suspicions don't make a proof. If you want to overcome the whole world, overcome yourself. The cleverest of all, in my opinion, is the man who calls himself a fool at least once a month. I did not bow down to you. I bowed down to all the suffering of humanity. Sarcasm, the last refuge of modest and chaste-souled people, when the privacy of their soul is coarsely and intrusively invaded. The more stupid one is, the closer one is to reality. The more stupid one is, the clearer one is. Stupidity is brief and artless, while intelligence squirms and hides itself. Intelligence is unprincipled, but stupidity is honest and straightforward. Nothing is easier than to denounce the evildoer. Nothing is more difficult than to understand him. If you want to be respected by others, the great thing is to respect yourself. Only by that, only by self-respect will you compel others to respect you. This is my last message to you. In sorrow, seek happiness. To love is to suffer, and there can be no love otherwise. It is better to be unhappy and know the worst than to be happy in a fool's paradise. Pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart. The really great men must, I think, have great sadness on earth. Don't let us forget that the causes of human actions are usually immeasurably more complex and varied than our subsequent explanations of them. It is not the brains that matter most, but that which guides them, the character, the heart, generous qualities, progressive ideas. Above all, don't lie to yourself. The man who lies to himself and listens to his own lie comes to a point that he cannot distinguish the truth within him or around him, and so loses all respect for himself and for others. And having no respect, he ceases to love. To go wrong in one's own way is better than to go right in someone else's. What is hell? I maintain that it is the suffering of being unable to love. Perhaps I really regard myself as an intelligent man only because throughout my entire life I've never been able to start or finish anything. Your worst sin is that you have destroyed and betrayed yourself for nothing. I say let the world go to hell, but I should always have my tea. The soul is healed by being with children. I love mankind, he said, but I find to my amazement that the more I love mankind as a whole, the less I love man in particular. We sometimes encounter people, even perfect strangers, who begin to interest us at first sight, somehow suddenly, all at once, before a word has been spoken. People speak sometimes about the bestial cruelty of man, but that is terribly unjust and offensive to beasts. No animal could ever be so cruel as a man, so artfully, so artistically cruel. It takes something more than intelligence to act intelligently. Man has it all in his hands, and it all slips through his fingers from sheer cowardice. The mystery of human existence lies not in just staying alive, but in finding something to live for. Taking a new step, uttering a new word, is what people fear most. Truly great men must, I think, experience great sorrow on the earth. Much unhappiness has come into the world because of bewilderment and things left unsaid. And the more I drink, the more I feel it. That's why I drink too. I try to find sympathy and feeling in drink. I drink so that I may suffer twice as much. The greatest happiness is to know the source of unhappiness. The fear of appearances is the first symptom of impotence. Power is given only to him who dares to stoop and take it. One must have the courage to dare. I used to imagine adventures for myself. I invented a life, so that I could at least exist somehow. Be not forgetful of prayer. Every time you pray, if your prayer is sincere, there will be new feeling and new meaning in it, which will give you fresh courage, and you will understand that prayer is an education. Without God, all things are permitted. People with new ideas, People with the faintest capacity for saying something new are extremely few in number, extraordinarily so, in fact. Forgive me for my love, for ruining you with my love. Don't be overwise. Fling yourself straight into life, without deliberation. Don't be afraid. The flood will bear you to the bank and set you safe on your feet again. Love children especially, for they too are sinless like the angels. They live to soften and purify our hearts, and as it were, to guide us.